making a place. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
And welcome everybody to Real Talk. We are here during Game 5 of the Warrior series, and they are currently up 4-2. But fellas, it's so good to see y'all before we get into this holiday weekend. How y'all feeling?
What's happening, fellas? I'm feeling good. How y'all feeling, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Ready for the holiday weekend. Looking forward to a
Y'all
long
got any
weekend.
plans? Y'all going anywhere? Anybody getting on the grill?
Yeah, I'm traveling. My nephew's graduating, so I'll be traveling.
Oh,
me and the family going to Six Flags this weekend.
Okay, that should be fun.
The one in PG County?
Yeah. We want to go to the one in Jersey, but my wife want to stay up there for like a couple of days, and I was like, hold on, I gotta go to work, man. Hold on.
I was about to say, because the one in Maryland is close. It's a lot closer than
the one.
I'm
close to the one in Maryland, but we want to go to the Jersey one with the safari, and all that.
Gotcha. Great adventures. That's the spot.
What was I gonna say? I saw a meme. I think it might have been either today or yesterday, about don't go to the Baltimore and Six Flags with less than 6 people, because
It could go down.
Can it? Six Flags.
Will it?
Yeah,
I just seen it. I just seen it happen a couple times.
Yeah, it's a little different. But we're gonna go ahead and get into it. The Warriors have jumped out to a 9-2 lead. Dallas just scored an and one, so it'll probably be 9-5 here shortly. But fellas, we saw what Boston did. I have never wavered since I jumped on the Boston bandwagon. I've been consistent. I've rode the storms, the blowouts, the poor shooting nights, and my Boston Celtics are sitting at.
Your Boston Celtics?
That is hilarious.
Oh my goodness! I cannot believe.
The Boston Celtics are sitting at 3-2. Jimmy Butler looks dead in the water. Tyler Hero can't get on the court. Kyle Lowry went a combined 0-15, I believe. Put up one of those historic games. We basically do nothing. So yeah, it was a quite the showing for the Boston Celtics, and seemingly you would think in the series, but these playoffs from game to game, it's like different people. They switch jerseys or they steal each other's basketball talent or something. I don't know what is going on, but it is something. So, given what we've seen from the Warriors here early, looks like Steph did something to his leg. Seeing what we're seeing from the Warriors, what we saw from Boston, it is time for finals predictions. So I'll start with you, Dev. Who do you have advancing to the finals?
It's gonna be Golden State and Boston. I done told y'all in the beginning of the show that I was rooting for Boston to come out the East. And once Golden State got past Memphis, I kind of feel that there was nobody else really left for Golden State as far as competition wise. As long as they can stay healthy, it'll be Golden State and Boston.
Kenny, what you think?
Yeah, those are my picks when we when the series started, so I'm not wavering from them. I think to Dev's point, I think it would have been a better series if Phoenix had won. I think it would have been a closer series because this is just not a good matchup for Dallas. So of course you wanted to see the matchup between Chris Paul and Stephen Curry and the other matchups, but that one in particular. But seeing a two backcourts matchup. But having said all of that, yeah, I'm not wavering. I think that this one is over tonight. I think Golden State finishes it off tonight, and I'm not picking no more. Well, I say my picks for the finals, but I'm not picking no more against Boston. They got me last round against Milwaukee, so I'm not doing it no more. I think they're done. And they're gonna get them out of here in 6 because Miami is just having a hard time scoring the basketball. Like, and I say, we talk about this in the playoffs, man. It's about guys that create shots more so than guys that can make shots. So they just don't have a lot of shot, especially now with Hero being down. They just don't have enough shot creators, and Jimmy Butler is hobbled. So the fact that Boston just has more playmakers and more talent than them. So it's just not. It's just a matter of time for me. And I say it's over tomorrow night. And I think we'll know before the weekend is out what our finals matchup will be.
Fair enough. No, I
just need you to say it again, Ray. Come on, Ray. Say it one more time. You was on the Boston bandwagon. Come on, one more time.
Yeah. Hey, once you prove yourself to me, I'm riding till the wheels fall off. The Phoenix wheels fell off, so I had to disassociate myself from Phoenix. But these Boston wheels, I'm just gonna stay consistent. And even when they're playing bad, because Jason Tatum hasn't been great in this series to me, but like to your point, Miami just can't score. Miami can't apply enough pressure offensively to it looks like Steph rolled his ankle is what it was. So it's like he's a little hobbled, but we'll see. He should be able to hopefully.
I think he's gonna play though. I think he's gonna finish playing.
Yeah,
unless Boston send him some water from out of Boston, he can go in the back of that locker room and come back.
Be back in 5 minutes.
That miracle water.
I don't think that was a bad one. He didn't totally roll it and put his weight on it. So I don't think that was a bad one. I think he'll be okay.
And worst thing you can do is go sit somewhere. So
yeah.
But Steph looks to be back. Warriors
he
up.
Probably won't switch them shoes out though.
I mean, he got the thickest ankle brace I think I've ever seen he be wearing.
He's been doing that since he had them, the ankle issues early in his career. He's been wearing those.
Yeah, I don't even know how he do it though, because I had sprained my ankle before, and I tried one of them thick ass braces, boy, and your movement is just. You don't have a lot of movement. Like your shin and calf is gonna be stiff when you get done running.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I think we're all agreed on the finals matchup. Where I think I'm pretty confident we're going to disagree. The key is just how much. Come on, Lynn, what are you doing? Is with the All NBA selection. So I will just briefly show them and read for our audience just so they have an idea of who made these teams. And we can kind of get into it on if you think the right people were there or not. So Dev, based on what you saw, were you good with the All NBA team? Did you have some concerns with anything? Like, what were your thoughts about it?
My thoughts is I can see one off top right now is the Embiid and Jokic. I strongly believe that Embiid should have been first team NBA. Because Jokic, like I said, Jokic was cool. He can put up good stats and everything, but that's the same stats that we seen last year, in my opinion. And if you didn't get any better, then how can you still be, dominant or a better big man over Embiid? So that's the only one I see off top is that Embiid and Jokic. I would switch. But as far as everybody else being in, I think everybody in their right places, especially going off of this year.
Okay, Kenny.
Actually, I think that this is one of those situations where, and they need to do it kind of similar to the All-Star game where they pick regardless of position, because I think to me, you put both of them as first team and then you move somebody off, whether it's I probably, if I had to move one off, I probably would move either Tatum or Luka. But I just think that because of what they did, Joel Embiid led the league in scoring. Not Luka, but Joker had a historic. That according to his stats, they said that it was a historic year in terms of his stats. So I think they both should have been on there together. So I think that's the only thing that I would have changed. Everything else, I'm pretty much okay with. All of the other guys that made the All NBA teams.
Okay. So obviously I have a number of issues with this
Of course.
setup. And the other thing, Dev, I agree with you, but Jokic has to be first team if they gave him MVP. That's kind of like when
See, I wasn't sold on Jokic being MVP this year.
I mean, me either. I don't think he should have been, but for me, I thought was the first thing I thought that was interesting was Devin Booker made it over Steph for first team. And I get it, but I don't get it. If you're going to say he's, first team All NBA, I felt like he should have been higher in MVP voting. But I guess technically he's not, but I didn't like that, especially considering the situations was different. Golden State was kind of bringing a bunch of people back, trying to get acclimated. So, and Steph did miss some games at the end of the year.
I said that's what I was going to put in. Steph made it, made it miss about 15 to 20 games this year, and Booker only missed maybe about 5.
I think that's probably what cost him because he missed that tail. Those last couple of weeks of the season he missed. So that's probably what cost him.
Ja missed a lot of games, so I can see that.
And then Memphis they went like 21-6 without Ja.
Yeah.
Too. So that was going to kind of bring his value down just a little bit.
That's fair. I'll give you that. I honestly, I would still go with Jason Tatum on first team. I'm good with DeRozan on second team, but if they have DeRozan as a forward or front court player, I know y'all gonna say I'm a hater, but either Siakam or Braun would need to go for me, and Jimmy Butler should be on there. There's no way the number one team in the East doesn't have a single player represented in the All NBA teams. So you can have Siakam or LeBron. I would obviously lean LeBron just because they didn't even make the play-in. Statistically, he had a really good year. I don't really get into the giving him extra credit for his age. When it comes to these awards, you stepped on the court. Whether you're hurt, whether you're old, whether you're young, if you perform, you perform. But he did. But I had a concern there. And then for me, I liked Darius Garland over Chris Paul. Chris Paul missed a lot of games. Darius Garland had that Cleveland team in the top 4 seeds for much of the year until they came down the stretch.
But then Garland got hurt also towards like the end of the year also. So I think that might have I think injuries might have played in a lot of people positions this year.
He got back for the the stretch run though.
Right. But I think he missed the 2 weeks before the season was getting ready to end. I think he might have came back when that last
he came back for
7 games or something like that.
It was like maybe 2.5 weeks, something like that. He was.
I mean, Chris Paul missed almost the second half of the season. So that to me, and I know I'm not the big Chris Paul fan here, but we saw what Phoenix did, and I wish they would have rewarded someone else. Another person I would potentially have substituted in that third team would be Brandon Ingram. I think he could have been up there versus LeBron or Siakam. If he had been in New Orleans long enough, I would have put CJ over Trae Young, to be honest, in impact. Like he came in, or even over Chris Paul, because he definitely changed life. I would have had one of them represented, ideally. So other than that, I liked it. I want Embiid first team, but you understand what that is. But the other controversy,
it looked like Game 6 Clay back tonight.
Is he? I
Look
hadn't
like it.
been looking over it. Still a 4-point game, but some controversy came out, and because he's a polarizing figure, I want to get y'all opinion. Jalen Rose voted Kyrie Irving to the All NBA team. And obviously there was criticism. I think Stephen A. Smith was one of them that had a nice viral moment. But I'll let you guys go first. I'll start with you, Kenny, and then we can kind of get into it.
Yeah, he definitely should. He definitely should not have made the All NBA team. Just didn't play enough games. I mean, don't get me wrong. The games that he played, he did work, but and he had some spectacular games in those games that he played, but it was just not enough for him to make the All NBA team. And I do want to address one other controversy that we didn't discuss. A lot of people out here, for all you people that are talking about Pascal Siakam and how is he on the All NBA team, but he didn't make the All Star team. Just for the record, my uncle Rod Strickland made the second team All NBA, led the league in assists, and didn't make the All Star team. So miss me with all of that. But anyway, yeah, you can't give it to you can't vote Kyrie as All NBA. Like you kind of like, I guess almost that's like one of those where they try to take your vote away when you're like not honoring the vote. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I remember, I think it was in baseball one year that they took. I think it was Dan Lebertard. Like they took his vote away from him one year because he voted for somebody crazy. I can't remember who it was, but but yeah, that may happen because these guys consider these votes sacred, and especially these writers and media people. This is their claim to fame. They have the ability to vote for these All NBA teams, so he might catch some flack for it.
And players. That's why I've heard a lot of the criticism. Players are going to potentially miss the opportunity at a Supermax because they didn't get named to one of these All NBA teams because you chose to vote frivolously. Kyrie didn't even play 30 games. Like you can't do that. So typically, I'm a Jalen guy. I have not heard his real in-depth response to how or defense of it, but he knew better than that. Like I don't know what he was trying to prove or what message he was trying to send, but that wasn't it.
Made no sense because you was killing him for not getting vaccinated. And you gonna vote for him for All NBA? Like, what you trying to get back in his good graces?
I don't know. Dad, what you
got? This year Kyrie didn't deserve it because, like I said, he didn't play that many games. Talent wise, do he deserve it? Oh yeah, most definitely. I think Kyrie is probably the top 5 point guard in the league. Well, at least one of the top 5 point guards in the league. But if we're going to knock Steph for not making all first team or any other players because of injuries and stuff like that, then we might as well go ahead and do the same thing for Kyrie because that's like him being injured, him not being vaccinated and able to play the home games. So he, like you said, he didn't play 30 out of 82. That's a lot of games to be missing. That's majority of the season right there. So if you can't get no votes to get into the All-Star game, it's going to be hard for you to even get votes for NBA All Team. And Kyrie, this is the year that I can honestly say that he shouldn't be in there this year.
Fair enough. Not to say he won't be able to get back next year, depending on where he ends up, but I think we're in agreement that wasn't in the best interest. So we're about a quarter in, and so the game is still pretty close here in San Francisco. So we're going to get some picks that sound like y'all picked basically earlier. Everybody thinks Golden State wins tonight. No opposing beliefs there.
Yeah, it's over.
Nah, so you said you got a spread for me, Kenny? You said that real definitively.
Let me see. I say they win by double figures. So I would say at least by 12, 13 points, something like that.
Okay. Kenny got Golden State with double figures. Dev, you of the same mind?
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna wind up being a blowout.
Dang.
I just feel like it's all. I don't think Luka's supporting cast is gonna show up tonight. I think that one game when everybody was hitting threes and able to knock down shot,
Mhm.
that was it. I think today his supporting cast not gonna show up with him, and Luka's going. He's gonna do his thing. He's gonna drop about 40, maybe, hopefully, if he want to keep his season alive.
He's
But
gonna
that's
have
what he's
to.
gonna have to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not
But
off to the fastest start tonight. But Golden State got going early. And now they've kind of come back 21 points with under 2 minutes left. That's not a huge quarter. So Dallas sustained that early blow, and we'll see, as this game goes. I think it's going to be close. I think it'll be close all the way through. I would not be surprised if Dallas won. I think the key is going to be that third quarter. If Dallas lets Golden State come out in that third quarter and get going, I think you guys will be right. It'll be one of them games. But if Dallas can maintain like they did last game in that third quarter, I think the pressure definitely switches over to Golden State, and I think we got ourselves a ball game. So
yeah, because you can just see right now that his supporting cast can't even hit the shots now. You got some dude, what's his name? But Elisa in the series, and he ain't been in the series. He ain't been in the playoffs, but maybe about 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Dude, they got from Sacramento.
Yeah, I was trying to see if it looked like a turnover, but it wasn't. So, all right. Well, we're gonna keep it moving. To the aforementioned Kyrie Irving. Reports have come out that it is spiraling out of control very, very quickly. They have said that Kevin Durant has not spoken to the front office since the season ended. There's more and more reports almost on a daily basis that they are not giving Kyrie a max extension. Now there's reports saying that Durant said if they don't max Kyrie or re-sign Kyrie, he's leaving. If they all both leave, where do they go? How do they get there? And then do you still need Steve Nash? So a lot of potential fallout ahead. So what do you guys think? Is there smoke? Is there fire? Like, is it real? Is it fake? Is this just slow news cycles? Dev, what you got?
It is fire. It is fire. Cause the whole reason that the KD and the Kyrie connection was the whole reason for them to come to Brooklyn was for them to play together. And I'm pretty sure that those two was looking to play more than what they played 2 years together.
Durant was out.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Well, technically in two years, but they only played maybe about 1 silent year.
Mm-hmm.
So you will want to keep them going. You will want to bring them back, but if you can't bring at least Kyrie back, you're gonna lose KD. And where KD gonna go? That part is a mystery because I wasn't anticipating this. I didn't expect Brooklyn to be going in a spiral this early. I would at least thought maybe down towards Steve Nash contract career, if Steve Nash can get them in the playoffs or in a better position that they was in this year. But if you already hitting down that road now, then you might end up like the other New York team around the corner from the Knicks.
Hey, watch it.
I didn't want to say it, Kenny, man. I was trying to tiptoe around it a little bit, but
Then you stuck your foot all the way in. But
you
it's cool.
already know. But you
We've earned
already
it.
know the Knicks. The
We've
Knicks
earned
is
it.
in. They in.
We've
They
earned
in
it. I can't
disarray
really.
too.
Yeah, I can't really argue
So
too much.
if Brooklyn start to turn out to be that way, then Brooklyn gonna be right back in the basement of the East again.
Man. Kenny, you in agreement or what you think?
Nah, I'm not. I think it's much ado about nothing. I think we gotta wait and see what happens. If Kyrie had opted out of his deal, then we could say, okay, there's some smoke to this. But for me, until that happens, I don't think that there's any there's nothing to really talk about right now because of course from Brooklyn's perspective, they're going to resist offering him an extension because of the things that have transpired. So that to me that's just to me just positioning or trying to create some leverage. So that's all to me is posturing. That's what I was looking for. It's just posturing on Brooklyn's vantage or standpoint, and they're trying to get ahead of it and trying to get ahead of the story and letting everybody know from their perspective and trying to because clearly, I think here's the issue: is that Kyrie and KD are taking a page from LeBron James's book in terms of the player empowerment, in terms of having their say so, being the final, having say so over how the franchise moves. It's not going to be the final say, but they're having say so on how the franchise moves. So they're clearly exercising their power, and Brooklyn is trying to, exert some form of their power to try to alleviate that or try to change things to their advantage. And I don't see it happening because like Devin said, if you take this hard line with Kyrie, then KD's gonna get out. KD's gonna want out. So you're gonna just have another headache on your hand. So it's gonna be one of those things to where. And here's the other thing that I do know. It was a reason that they came to Brooklyn, and the reason that they came to Brooklyn was because Kyrie wanted to be home. I can recall a conversation. This is the only thing I'm going to say. I rarely say things about my relationship with Kyrie and with his dad, but I'll let this little thing go. So a few years back, right before Kyrie went into free agency, we had a family event, and I was talking to his dad, and me and my brother was talking to his dad, and this was right before he was about to hit free agency. And so he was like, so, have y'all decided what you're going to do? What's your thoughts? This, that, and the third. And so he was just like, and I remember him saying distinctly, we haven't made a decision yet, but Kyrie wants to be home. And the next day he was signed up with Brooklyn. So I said all that to say, like, family is very important to Kyrie, and him being home and him being able to have his family see his games, having his dad being able to sit courtside at all his games, at his home games, that means a lot. So to me, I think this situation is going to work itself out. I'm sure that the Nets want some assurances that he's going to, make basketball a priority, which is understood. So I think it's just, it's just some business things that need to be, handled and situated. But I don't think that there's any fire to it. I just think it's a bunch of posturing going through the media.
I'm with a lot of that. So if you're Brooklyn, how many years do you give them?
I probably would, and again, this is assuming that he doesn't opt into this year.
Yeah, I think he can opt into this year. I think the issue becomes if you don't max him now, you're probably gonna lose him because once he's free next year, Kyrie seems like the kind of person, if you do him dirty, he good. And so if he good, by all accounts, KD's good. So if you don't max him, you're basically letting him walk next year.
I wouldn't let him walk though.
Yeah, and I think that they do. If they do offer him an extension, I think they do something kind of similar to what they did for KD, which is he has a 4-year, maybe you do a 2-year with an option, something like that. But I don't see them balking at the end of the day. You know, when the rubber meets the road, I don't see them balking at giving him the max because they know, regardless to all of what all of the narratives and all of the things that are said about Kyrie, they know if they let him walk, someone else will give him that max deal.
Mm-hmm. So who do you think if Brooklyn don't do it, who do you think will give him that max deal though? Like since you just said he want to be home, Brooklyn majority, at least majority of the is that Washington? You wave your hand for Washington?
Bring KD home. Bring KD home. Kyrie, we love you, brother. KD, in your career in Washington, I know what it's been like. I know you don't be trying to come back here sometimes because of the people, but I promise you, we'll be on our best behavior. You, Kyrie, Bradley Beal, we go win some rings. You know what I'm saying? We got Kuzma that we can bring off the bench. We'll be set.
You got to move some of them pieces to make.
Hey, KCP's deal, we can let KCP go. The only everybody's.
You have to let KP go. Porzingis go too.
Oh, I didn't want him in the first place. That'd be a blessing.
That's what I'm saying.
I forgot that he was even on that team, man.
That contract off your books.
Nah, we'll amnesty him, or you do whatever it takes when you have this opportunity.
Put him on that Luol Deng package.
Whatever it takes is what you do.
Just don't send them. Just don't send them packages out to LA. We don't need no more contracts out there. We ain't trying to take on no Luol Deng 10-year, 260 million, anything in that nature, man.
Yeah, y'all don't got no room on y'all cap to fit Kyrie.
So that's what I'm saying. That's all we got to do. Then we'll be in the money, man. And then Freddie will be in purgatory.
Freddie might be he might become a Wizards fan.
He bet not. I would drive to Dallas myself. Or wherever he at down there. But no, I don't even know what they're talking about here. For the Draymond wedged the ball. Did y'all saw the free throw the other night where he got stuck on the back of the rim? Y'all didn't see that?
Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah, Draymond shot a free throw and he got stuck literally on the back part of the iron.
The back cylinder.
And now he just tried to dunk and he got stuck in the side of the rim. So he's having a good time.
Yeah, he had that back injury, so give him some time, man. Give him some time.
John, I'm very confident that Luka will score more than 22.
Oh yeah, you're crazy. Oh, Luka is scoring 30 plus tonight.
Dallas. Yeah,
I think Dallas.
I give you the blowout, but I can't not under 22. No way. You're gonna shoot 22 times.
You're right.
He ain't got no choice. He almost in the same. Right. He almost in the same boat as Miami. Somebody got to put up these shots.
Okay. I mean, we hear every Monday and Thursday at 9, so I don't run from nobody. You know what I'm saying? Freddie was on here. I told him to put his money up, and then he ran away. So I stand.
My man said,
what connection?
I can't hear you, Ray.
Can't hear me.
That's what he said. That's what Freddie said. I can't hear you, Ray.
Look like they got like an ice pack or something on Steph's knee ankle. That's interesting. I would hope they would get him up by now and keep that ankle as loose as possible.
At least probably trying to keep the swelling down.
Yeah. But that takes us from this series to the next series, and South Beach did not have a good time last night.
Oh, they did, just not at the game.
Well, yeah.
They was getting ready for Cancun.
Yeah, I'm about to
Yeah,
say,
it seems like they
anything
mailed
about
it
South
in.
Beach is always a good time.
Yeah. So my question for you guys is, I am not the biggest Jimmy Butler fan, but I like Jimmy Butler. Him and Joel Embiid have like this thing that they have
Romance.
had since Jimmy was in Philly. And for whatever reason, Miami the last couple games has just not shown up. Not by and
But he is
large.
back.
And so my question is, Jimmy Butler started the series off on fire. Everybody was playoff Jimmy and putting all the crazy stats and making all the crazy comparisons to how great he was. And you would think that was a year ago, but it was not even a week ago. So my question is, what happened to Jimmy Butler and what happened to the Miami Heat? And Devin, we'll start with you.
He gassed out. When you the only person that can score, you is going to gas out. And he's been scoring since the Atlanta series. Then he had to go, even though they swept Atlanta. Then he had to go against who they had in the second round.
Who?
Philly.
Yeah, Philly. So you got to most definitely put up a match points with Embiid. So now you got to match points against 3 stars on the Boston Celtics team. Now you're not gonna be able to do it, especially if not your supporting cast is not going to help. If Hero ain't gonna play hero ball or not gonna be the 6 man a year, then Miami has no chance. Them in Dallas has the same situation. You only got 1 star, and when they gas out, who can you rely on? And they don't have nobody to rely on and help these stars. So Jimmy, he put up that 41. Was that game 2? And he tired himself out. He tired himself out so much that he couldn't even play game 3 because of his knee swelling. Or he played half of game 3.
Yeah, he
So
missed the second half.
yeah, so he just gassed out. Miami just gassed out. They need some more another star, either a true big man or a wing player for Jimmy. Because Jimmy wants to be so passive sometimes.
So who do they go get? If you're Miami, what do you go do?
I don't know. It's tough. This because it's I don't know who do you go get, because you don't want to bring Donovan Mitchell down there, because I don't think he can. I don't think him and Jimmy can go side by side together. I think because both of them kind of take nights off here and there. More of Jimmy Butler might take more of a nights off than Donovan Mitchell, but you don't want to have both of your stars who can't be your LeBron or your Kobe. Somebody that you know for sure when it's the last 15 seconds of the clock, you know that nobody else wants the ball but those two or those type players. And I don't think Donovan Mitchell is that type of player, honestly. I think he's a good second player if you got a good number one. But like I said, Miami don't have really a good number one. So I really don't know who can really fit with them. Maybe coach can answer that.
Well, I think to the question, I think that yes, he ran under gas, and I think the other thing is that knee is definitely bothering him. Like you could tell that he's not as explosive. Oh, that would be a nice look. CJ McCollum would be a
Oh
nice look,
yeah,
but I
all
don't
right.
think that
Now we
they're.
talking.
Yeah, I don't think that they would do that. Well, let me ask y'all this: What about? Would you? What about Kyrie? What if he? What if? Let's just say, for argument's sake, say Kyrie opts out and Brooklyn takes the hard line and they're not going to offer him the max. Or if you're Miami, do you make a run at him?
I think he's an upgraded. He's a better upgrade than Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry,
Can
yeah.
you get Lowry off the books? Is Lowry a free agent after this year? I thought he had signed a longer
I
deal.
thought
I
he
think he
signed
got
like
another year, but I'm gonna look it up.
But if you can get Kyle Lowry off, he would be a better upgrade than Kyle Lowry, in my opinion. But
I just don't know what kind of value you get for Lowry if you trade him. Like, I don't know if he still has that old veteran when he's healthy Lowry value, because I've always thought he was a bit overvalued, in my opinion.
Me too. I never was a big Kyle Lowry fan.
Yeah, no, he's got 2 more years after this.
But did he sign a 3-year deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, wait a minute. Yeah. He's got 2 more years after this. So I think Miami's kind of stuck with him because I don't think you, unless you're able to pull a sign and trade with it. But if I'm Brooklyn, I'm not gonna take Kyle Lowry back in a sign and trade because that's not gonna help you. Especially like you say with him being older. So I don't know, like maybe Donovan Mitch, that's somebody to look at. But I think I agree with Devin in terms of I'm not sure the fit because between him and Jimmy Butler, because they're both slashers and they're guys that play with the ball in their hands and kind of need the ball in their hands and not really guys that are looking to spot up and hit, knock down guys that are spot up guys like that. But I might look into that because I think part of the problem is that with Miami is they have a lot of guys a lot of catch and shoot guys, the Duncan Robinsons and Tyler could kind of put it on the floor a little bit, but Strus is another catch and shoot guy. So I think they need another shot creator. So I think that Donovan Mitchell could help them in that regard. But I'm just not sure what pieces they have in terms of being able to pull off a trade for him. So I don't know. It's tough for Miami because, again, I think that's the question. And Joel Embiid tweeted it, and he wasn't wrong. They need another piece because I was one that was holding, that I was skeptical about Jimmy being a number one, but he was playing like a number one. But like Ray said, it seemed like that was like a year ago because in this series, it's been night and day from this series to the Philly series. Like the Philly series, man, he was destroying everybody in his path. So,
See, I think he was holding that personal too.
Oh yeah, no question. I'm sure, no question, because it was clear because I'm sure everybody saw the clip of him walking out. After it was that game 5, he was like, "Oh, y'all kept Tobias for me. Y'all signed him over me." So it was definitely personal for him. But I think at the end of the day, he's probably a 1A and not a 1. Or a 2. He's probably best suited as a 2. But if he's 1, he's more of a 1A, if that's even a such thing. So they do need to do some type of upgrade. I'm just not sure how they get it done. But having said all of that, if there's any team that is able to pull something off, I wouldn't bet against Pat Riley in the Miami Heat. They can figure something out if they're creative enough to do it.
So would it make sense for a Dragic reunion? Is he a big difference from Kyle Lowry? You could get him on maybe a better deal.
No, both of them injury prone.
Yeah, I don't think that helps you much. I just think he's. And the other thing is they probably would rather they got a younger version that was in terms of Vincent that they could pay less money. So I think they would rather roll the dice with him as your backup and try to upgrade at the point. I think that's what they would want to do.
Do y'all see that wild shot Vita Lisa just threw up?
No, I'm on.
I was trying to hold my laugh in. But he was leading the fast break. I thought he was going to throw it off the backboard to himself for a minute, but he just took this long layup, like long. Like, dog, you still had like 3 more feet to get there.
John, to your question, I don't know what
I just saw it there.
market is going to be.
He'd be a good bench player, but I think it's going to be a team that do take a chance with Oladipo. It's going to be a team.
He's going to get what, like a Schroeder type deal, like $8 to $9 million. I think he took that this past year. I think he's trying to get paid now. He's played relatively well in the playoffs.
Yeah, but he didn't. He still can't. You still didn't show that he can play throughout a full season still. So he gonna have to maybe play. Get like another boogie contract. Something in another prove it deal.
Yeah.
And you might have to go to a team like, hate to say it, like a Golden State maybe, or he can be that one that might help Luke out next year if he can stay healthy and show that he can score on a consistent basis, coming off the bench, because I think he's more of a bench player now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think that would be better for his, for his body as well, because he's really, going through it in terms of injury. So I think coming off the bench will be better for him and add some years perhaps to his career.
Fair enough. Well, I want to take this time to salute a loyal man, a loyal player in the NBA. A lot of people have negative things to say about the Washington Wizards, but one thing we have are loyal players. John Wall didn't want to leave, and Bradley Beal has said on multiple occasions, and once again he reiterated, he does not want to leave. I think he's in line for a $250 million extension. He loves DC. He's obviously does a lot here in the community. So the question is, should he ask for a trade or should he resign given the state of the Wizards and where he is in his career? I'll start with you, Kenny.
I think you if you have an opportunity to sign that max, like, you can't pass that up. That's for sure. But I think the other side to it is that do you become, are you the Dame Lillard of the Eastern Conference in terms of, not ever putting yourself in a position to be able to, compete in the playoffs? So I think those are the two questions that, those are the two things that I'm sure is weighing in his mind as he's trying to, navigate this and make this decision. And I don't know, man. It's tough because, on the one hand, like, that's life-changing money. You can't pass that up. But then, like, the competitor in you, on the other side, I'm like, man, I want to be able to at least try to compete for a championship. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's a tough call. I really can't say, and there's no right answer. It's really no right answer, if you think about it. But I guess if it's me, just the competitor in me would go to Washington and be like, man, let's figure out a way to get me to a contender, that you could get some pieces back that you could be able to, help continue to build your roster. If I'm him, I'm going to them like, yo, listen, make another Westbrook trade. See what you can get for me, add some more pieces to increase the talent level here, and send me somewhere where I can compete. Shucks. And that's another place that either, the last thing I'm saying, and if I'm saying that to them, I'll probably give them 3 teams. I'm giving them Denver, I'm giving them Miami, and I'm giving them Philly. I'm saying one of those 3 teams, those are the 3 teams that I would like to be traded to.
Why not LA?
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Okay.
It's too many. It's too many. Then you got if you send him to LA, and this is you're with. Are you saying that's with Russ and LeBron and AD?
Nah, they have to probably send AD in exchange.
Yeah. See, I don't think that gets you closer to a championship to me. Like, because if you're getting rid of AD, then you got an older Russ, you got an older LeBron. So you were two older guys, and I don't know how well you would compete in the West with those three guys.
Okay.
I think Denver gives you a better look, and maybe even Dallas. That'd be a place I wouldn't be opposed to going either.
But who would Denver send back?
Oh, that's
Porter
a good
Jr.
question.
You're gonna have to send Porter Jr. or Murray.
Yeah.
You can't. I doubt Washington would trade for Murray without seeing him.
Yeah, definitely.
We need to
And
see both of them, honestly.
and maybe or one of the. I think you definitely one of the other those two guys, and then maybe you add in like a Bones Highland, but he's because he showed some flashes. I like him, so maybe you add him in that deal in the first round pick, something like that. Just got to see how the money works though, because I know Porter and Murray, I believe they signed
Maxes.
they signed maxes, so I think they could. I think that would help make the money work.
Okay. Real quick to John's point, no, it doesn't move Curry ahead of LeBron. It might move him ahead of Magic. Y'all know how I feel about Magic. So
What did you say? I couldn't read it all the way. What did you say?
I'll put it back up. He just said, okay, let's not get on the LeBron train, but let's talk about it. If Warriors win it all, do you move Curry in front of LeBron? He stays more healthy. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it's pretty close at this point.
Yeah,
the numbers are the numbers.
Forget about those early years when Curry when he's having them ankle problems. He was missing a lot of games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The head-to-head advantage, a lot of credit to Curry, but a lot to he's had the better team and probably most of those matchups. So, yeah.
Wait, hold on. He don't stay more healthy. Just last year, the year before, he only played like 5 games. He don't stay more healthy than LeBron. That's inaccurate.
Yeah, because LeBron ain't really start getting hurt till he got to LA. Really, yeah. I think he had one injury, one big injury in Cleveland. Really,
I don't think he had no big injuries in Cleveland. Maybe a problem with his back. That's about it. He ain't never missed a bunch of games until he got to LA.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, something to think about.
Way back.
Don't say that. We didn't hear from you.
I think Bill. I like Bill. I think Bill should be in the way more. I think Washington should be way more competitive than what they are. Because honestly, the way they started off at the beginning of the year, I was like, oh, Washington got that sneaky, scary team. Somebody you don't want to face in the first round of playoffs because you kind of don't know who was going, which Washington team you can get. But then when Washington started fading away, with that Spencer Dinwiddie situation in the locker room, and then Bradley Beal injury, Washington season just started tanking, as the year just progressed. But if I was Bill, I would stay in Washington, get the max deal because you never know, that max deal probably won't never come knocking again. Hopefully he don't have to ever deal with no serious injury that he won't be able to opportunity to get another max deal. But I think you should just stay in Washington and try to fight it out. Maybe Washington has a plan where Bradley Beal is their number one, and you try to build around Bradley Beal. Because I think that's the best way. I think if you give Bradley Beal a big man, not saying that Aiden is the best big man, but Aiden body type, not body type, A body type.
Oh, I
Calm
would love
down,
to see
man.
him in DC. I would love
You know
him.
what I mean?
Yeah,
But
great.
I think he will play a little bit better under a different circumstances. I think what Aiden problem is in Phoenix, he can relax a little bit. He don't really have to dominate because Booker is there to dominate. Then at the Booker you have supposedly CP3. Supposedly. You know, we put my air quotations up there. But I don't really, other than Denver, I don't really see a good fit for Bradley Beal anywhere else really. So I think he should stay in Washington really.
So I want and I would love for Bradley Beal to stay here. But
on the butt.
at the same time, I want him to experience winning. Like I want him to go on the playoff run. I feel he deserves it. He's given a lot, to the city. So I would like to see him in Milwaukee. I think they could make that work if they got off of Chris Middleton or Drew
You
Holiday.
just said that shit just looked scary. That looks, if you can have a Drew Holiday, a Bradley Beal, and a Giannis on the floor at the same time, that is scary.
Forget about it.
That is scary, man. Because man, you have a true two guard. Not saying that Middleton is not a true two guard, but Middleton takes too many nights off. And with Bradley Beal, he doesn't take nights off. He might have a bad shooting night, but he ain't taking no night off. And him and Drew Holiday in that backcourt, oh man, that'd be something to be scared.
So that would be obviously not the same. He don't really care about weather per se, but not the best weather situation. But I think that would be great for him. I don't want Middleton back, but Middleton and we had Portis before. I don't know why I liked him when he was with us, but he just don't
like he was at the Knicks. No.
He don't stick around for whatever reason, but he's been solid everywhere I've seen him.
I like the Portis when he was with Chicago. Man.
Yeah, he's been that guy in that role for 5 or 6 different teams now. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Same thing with Wall. He gave us a lot, and I was okay with him wanting out, and it didn't really work for him. But
that was injury catching up to him.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be my 2 cents on that piece. But to go in a completely different direction, and we are almost at halftime, and it looks like y'all gonna be right. It's definitely like
it's headed that way.
Dallas is on their way out, and John, you might have been right. Luka's, I think, like 2 of 12 or something. Like they peaked, and now they're cratering. It looks like
too much firepower. And then, like I said, Clay on tonight. So
yeah, Clay
is on. Golden State is most definitely hard to beat, man.
So I think they saw what happened last night and said, "All right, we need to rest up and get it together." As far as picking up, I don't know where Levine goes. They say, well, actually, I do. I think I know where he goes because LeVar Ball said he's going to LA. And if LeVar said it,
how is he still relevant, man?
The man knows what the man knows. That's all I'm saying.
Let's relax.
What you mean?
He's hit on some, and then
as far as
the same man that said he can beat Jordan.
All right,
so same man.
And said that Lonzo was going to be better than Steph Curry. So he's hit on some, he's missed on some.
So here's what I'm saying. That's hyperbole. He didn't believe those things. I'm talking about when he reported, like Luke Walton, he reported on stuff that was happening with the team. There was accuracy in a lot of those things. And that's what I'm saying. If he's saying that publicly, he must have a pretty good idea about something, especially if he has someone in that locker room. So that's the only reason I say that. What?
Yeah. So according from the reports are saying that Levine is going to be visiting Atlanta, Portland, the Lakers, and I'm missing a team. Is it Dallas?
Yeah, I think it was Dallas.
Oh, I only heard 3 teams. I hadn't heard of a 4th team.
Okay, I know those 3 for sure, but I felt like it was one more. But maybe I'm wrong.
There's a CBS. They have Lakers, Bulls. I'm sorry. Lakers, Mavericks, Hawks, Trailblazers. I think are the
So
4.
Atlanta must have
Okay,
just
yeah, I
came
thought
on.
it was
Then.
Dallas.
Yeah.
So Atlanta part just came on his radar.
Which is not a bad. That's not a bad look because they could use. They could definitely use him because to me I think he's an upgrade over Bogdanovic and Huter.
So I guess
The only thing about Levine is his health. You know what I
Yep.
mean? He can't. I think he played like maybe about 50 games in the last couple of years, somewhere in that nature. So if he can't stay healthy, then he ain't gonna be no good to none of these teams, especially if you go to Portland. But they ain't gonna need all the help that he can possibly get up there.
So
but I don't see the Portland fit because Portland has to figure the Simons Lillard thing out.
That's true.
Oh, that's why I don't think he's going to Portland, in my opinion. I don't think he's gonna go up there because once they seen what was it, Anthony Simon, once he put on the show this whole year, they was like, oh, all right, well, we can play with him and Dame. I'm pretty sure that's the move they're gonna try to put him and Dame on the floor
That is
at the
a
same
small, defenseless backcourt you're gonna have on the court.
It is true. That is
but
true.
He's six.
No, he about like
6'5".
6'7", 6'8". I thought he was
No,
about 6'7".
6'5".
Who?
Simons. I want to say he's at least 6'4".
I thought he was a little bit taller than that.
Even at a 2 guard, that's not that big.
It's not, but it ain't like tiny.
They got him at 6'3".
6'3".
And Lillard ain't more than like 6'1".
Yeah, Lillard like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
So I don't.
But they both need a dependable big man though. If Portland don't have a dependable big man, which is they always been their Achilles heel.
What they need to do is send Dame out here for KP. Then you'll get your big man. We'll get a loyal steed. Let's go with another loyal guy.
Well, you go ahead and keep dreaming on that.
Right. Yeah, we're going.
You got to do something.
I'm about to start asking you to submit some urine samples. Come on now.
You got to do something.
That ain't bad.
If the Hornets don't trade Gordon Hayward, they won't offer Miles Bridges a max contract. So
It'd be dumb not to do that.
Yeah, he's worth it. And Gordon Hayward been robbing people for a long time.
Ever since that leg injury, Gordon Hayward
he can't get right ever since that ball.
Yeah.
Ever since Boston.
So yeah,
I feel like him and what's the dude in Brooklyn? Joe Harris. Those two just can't get right. Good scores and get you who you need on the court, but they just can't stay on the court.
Yeah, and that is definitely important. So we'll see. We got ourselves a busy offseason. I think is Levine the big domino this upcoming offseason?
So I think so. Biggest, yeah.
So
it all dependent on what happens with these opt-outs or whatever.
Fair enough. So going in a different direction, we have Colin Kaepernick news. Seemingly out of nowhere, we talked about the Michigan stuff. we talked about the one workout he did, and then the Raiders owner said something, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago about it, and then what in the world?
Hell happened to your screen, man?
I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I don't know what happened. But I feel like if you have that, as far as the team setup, then you could potentially get into a better situation. But I don't know. I think it's uphill. Give me a second. I don't know what's going on. All right,
So,
my bad, fellas.
what are we talking about? Cabinet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm glad he got the opportunity. I, I don't, I think at this point, the best that, he's going to have to definitely um, settle for being a backup. I think he's not going to get an opportunity to be a starter anywhere. So he's going to have to settle for being a backup. But, you take what you get. I think at this point, unfortunately, through no fault of his own, but he has to take the opportunities that are presented to him. So if the Raiders are the team that's going to present him the opportunities, he's just got to go in there and compete. Because we do know that while David Carr has played at a high level, but he can get banged up. Yeah, he
You
tends
mean
to get
Derek
banged
Carr?
up. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it could definitely happen that he might have to get on the field because we always know that you only one play away in that sport. So I'm glad he got the opportunity. What do you think about it, Dan?
Man, I am excited that he got the opportunity. I was on my podcast. I said that Colin Kaepernick was one of the best quarterbacks in the free agent pool, in my opinion. I don't think he was should be a starter because he's been out the league, for so long, and um, I think his starting days is behind him now, which sucks because I had put up a chart. It was Colin Kaepernick versus like the worst quarterback in my opinion, in the NFL, which is I think I chose Jared Goff. And in their first 3 years, their stats, Colin Kaepernick stats was better than Jared Goff. Now I ain't saying it was like a large blowout number or anything in that nature, but it was enough that say like, how the hell is Jared Goff still in the league and you don't put Colin Kaepernick in the league? So I think he most definitely going to have to be a backup somewhere, and the Raiders is a great example, great fit for him because like you said, Derek Carr can get a little bit banged up, and you're not having Marcus Mariota playing that backup role this year. I think it should fall right into Collins' hands as long as he can go in there, hit the right passes, know the right plays. It should fall in his favor. So I'm rooting for him. I really do. If you don't make it for the Raiders, I really do hope another team do open up and work him out, and I hope he do land a job this year.
Yeah, I think that's the hope is that this leads to more chances and more opportunities for him to show that he can still play in the league. I think that's what we all want to see.
So can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So do you guys think it was telling that they did not put anything out saying they weren't interested, but there's also no contract talk? So like, what is this? What do you do with that? Like, they didn't say we're not signing them, but they also didn't offer him a deal. So is it just a waiting game until someone gets hurt, or what do you think the strategy is there?
I think it's going to be a waiting game, in my opinion. I hate to say it. I hope it don't lead to him getting a job based off somebody's injury, because I really think he can go in there and outplayed who the Raiders got in there. I think they got Statham from New England as
Yeah,
one of their
Garrett
backup
Stidham, they just
quarterbacks.
brought in.
I really think that he can outplay them. Um, so I just hope it ain't just smoke and mirrors and they just trying to,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, please us and say like, hey, we gave him a chance and he didn't work
Mm-hmm.
out. I really hope
Those
they giving
throwing them a
him,
bone.
yeah, I hope they really giving him a serious look and teams are actually saying, oh, we effed up. We should have been gave Colin a shot.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the hope. It seems like with this team and their history, it seems like it's a real thing that they've been kind of leading up to. Of all the places, Vegas, I would say, is a safe city to embrace him and what he would come with versus some other teams and their fan bases that could be more of a problem. So I think there was some value in the team, and hopefully something can come of it. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind he'd be the second best quarterback on that roster. And the other thing that and who's the coach there from New England?
McDaniel.
Josh
Josh
McDaniels.
McDaniels. He said in his press conference, Derek Carr's not concerned. Like, so I think they've made him sure this is Derek's team. We brought him in, whether we sign him or not is to be determined. But if we do bring him in, this is Derek's team, and I think that is enough. And
Yeah.
obviously, you hope for his
You
health.
know what team I'm surprised they didn't really give him a shot? It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm a Ravens fan, and I don't never try to root for the Steelers in any shape or form, but the same way how with Brian Flores had put the lawsuit out, and it was struggling for him to get a job in the NFL. And then like 2 to 3 weeks later, Pittsburgh was like, "Hey, we'll pick you up," and I think Pittsburgh could have been another organization that could have, tossed Kaepernick a bone. Even though you just losing Ben, but you still could have had a veteran type quarterback come into your locker room and maybe compete. I think he can beat Trubisky out in a job. If this Trubisky, he was on the team last year. That's like the only advantage he have over Colin, in
No, it
my
wasn't.
opinion.
They're both new. They both will be new to the team. He was with Buffalo last year.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but at least Trubisky was in the league,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
still. So that's another team that I can kind of see throwing a bone if the Raiders don't. Well, I don't know how their quarterback room is now since they drafted Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, but I guess they drafted him, after the unfortunate passing of Dwayne Haskins. So
Right.
um and that may not be as viable a situation. But another team I would think that might want to take a look at him is Carolina, because
Seattle.
they were sniffing around. Yeah, they were sniffing around Deshaun Watson there for a minute, and we know that they are definitely not committed to Sam Darnold. So to me, that would be an opportunity or a situation where you would definitely roll the dice and see.
And that's
So that
another
would be an
quarterback
opportunity.
that I think Colin Kaepernick can win over too, the Sam Donald.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the one thing, or one of the things that'd be working against Kaepernick is the Lamar Jackson syndrome, where the only way that you can bring him in is if you have an offense that'll fit his style of play. Because all you have is the San Francisco tape. So I think if you're bringing him in to potentially start, you got to factor in. You might have to change like your entire offense because you haven't seen him necessarily run that traditional offense in his career, and definitely not in the last 5 years. So I think when you're talking about Carolina or places like that, I don't know that because of their traditional quarterback system, I don't know if you bring him in just because he's maybe a better quarterback if you don't think your offense can fit his skill set. So I think
Yeah,
that
because they were struggling with Cam last year too.
Yeah, and then also I Matt Rule does come from, the college ranks. So, where the spread option is run rampant throughout college football. So I would be surprised if he couldn't incorporate that type of element into his offense.
Yeah. So I could see it. I just don't know with obviously Darnold's guaranteed money if you do that. But no, that's fair enough. And obviously, I'm all for more opportunities in some form or fashion. Um, so coming out of Las Vegas, the NFL has lost in court, at least preliminarily, and with the John Gruden situation. A Nevada judge ruled in favor of John Gruden on 2 motions, opening the possibility of a jury trial on his torturous interference claim that he was basically fired unjustly. So, you guys, we've talked about it before with including the Commanders now, and how there was a bunch of paperwork that never came out. And then there's still, I think, women here that have been going on trial about this sexual assault stuff. That's still ongoing in some capacity. What do you think ends up happening if this gets to an in-court situation? How bad or good or indifferent do you think this would impact the NFL? And I'll start with you, Dev.
I think it's going to impact the NFL bad, like real bad. I hate to say it, but before all this email scandal and all this other stuff, we was putting John Gruden as one of the best head coaches in the NFL. He got a brilliant mind. He knows the game, but I think John Gruden also is past his time. I think certain stuff, because with this social media world, everything is sensitive. You can't say certain words. You can't call a person a certain name without it falling to be civil suit or anything in that nature. And if this comes out that the NFL wrongfully fired John Gruden, now it's going to open up more cases. What happened down in Miami in the Brian Flores thing? Did the owner actually offer him money and all this other stuff that's behind closed doors that the NFL tried so hard to keep tight? I think it's going to wind up open the box now if this goes into court. And I don't think that's where the NFL really wants to go with. I think that's where the NFL is going to start losing its power, maybe some ratings. I don't think it's going to lose its full ratings, but it's just not a good look for the NFL because you don't see the MLB having these type of issues, and if they are, it's been kept quiet. You don't really see the NBA having that many issues. If so, you're pretty much suspended or banned from the league, as quick as they possibly can. And there's always the NFL that's dealing with racism, domestic abuse, or anything in that nature. And it's just sickening and tiresome now that each year you have a scandal coming out from the NFL. So it's just not a good look for the NFL, in my opinion.
Kenny?
Yeah, I really think that the NFL is going to do everything in their power to make sure that to try to keep this court case from seeing the light of day, because I think that this is going to if this thing ever goes to trial, then there's going to be a whole bunch of skeletons that come out and a whole bunch of things that they do not want anyone to have knowledge of or to find out about, because you cannot tell me that there are not other emails from other people that John Gruden was corresponding with or emailing with. You can't tell me that they wasn't responding back to him and wasn't saying anything that was out of pocket. I just don't believe it. And they made John Gruden the fall guy. And so this is why he's pushing back, and this is why he's fighting back. And John Gruden is of the mindset, I ain't going down by myself. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna go down. I think he's going out in the blaze of glory because he's not taking this thing. He's not taking this thing by himself. So, and I think the NFL is going to do everything possible to try to keep this case from seeing courts. It's the same situation with Colin Kaepernick. That's why they had to settle with him, because they did not want that information coming out that owners were colluding, which they clearly were, that colluding to keep him out of the NFL. So this is the same situation where they're going to try to do everything that they can to protect their shield, to protect their brand, and to protect their reputation. So they better do something and figure it out, because if they don't, then it's going to be a whole lot of problems.
I agree. I think the other issue the NFL has is they got a Deshaun Watson situation going on at the same time.
Yeah.
And so they have a Dan Snyder situation going on at the same time. Like, they got a lot of big deals going on at the same time, and they need to get them right, because I think, to your point, like, they typically don't get it right. So I think there's a lot of pressure on them to figure out how they want to handle it. I'm guessing they didn't offer John, or they backed out of a deal they made with John or something, because they weren't supposed to let him get to this point. And now, whatever the price was, it's definitely gone up. So
yesterday's prices.
So they got some work to do, because I agree. I think the things that we would eventually find or read, reporters that would be a reporter's dream for that to become available. So we'll see, but not a good look. But speaking of, well, it was a good look to me. I don't know if you guys, Dev, and I'm gonna start with you, just because the press conference, I believe, was yesterday or today. In the Gervonta Davis fight, did you get a chance to watch any of the?
Yeah, I did.
Oh man, it was just, apparently Gervonta thinks that Rolly Romero is just a dumb fighter, in nicer words.
Listen to how he was talking. He sounds stupid, man. I tried to tell you, that boy, his voice don't match his body. He's just talking reckless now. What did he say he had? What did he say? Gervonta had a koala. What the hell? A koala shaped head? I forgot what the hell he was saying, man. I was like, yo, what are you saying? Like, what are you talking about? Yo, this is not boxing no more. I see now that Shorty is trying to make a name for himself. And he kind of giving me that Adrian Broner type feel, man. Like, if I can't do it in boxing, I'm going to do it somehow. I'm going to do it another way. I'm going to do it in cracking jokes. I'm going to try to take the press conference. You know what I mean? And that's what it looked like he was trying to do. And Gervonta was just sitting there just looking down like, yo, what are you talking about, Doug? Like, what are you saying? So I really hope Gervonta put hands on this man, and I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all my prediction right now. Gervonta is knocking Yo out in 6.
6?
6.
Okay, I like it. Strong take coming through. Kenny, your thoughts?
Well, I didn't see the press conference, so I'm just here. I'm just reacting to what you guys are telling me. But to me, like, anytime you put Adrian Broner into the equation, then that's a recipe for disaster. Because there's nobody that disappointed or nobody was more of a clown show than that guy. So it just doesn't bode well for him. And you give him a puncher's chance because he does have some power. But that's about it. This fight is definitely not going the distance. Somebody's getting put to sleep. And, of course, I'm going to go with the experience and go with the skill set of Gervonta Davis. And I think he's going to take this personal.
Oh
To
yeah.
the point where he just drags it out and just punishes him instead of trying to get an early knockout. I think he's going to just really drag this guy out and just punish him. And I don't think it's going to be that early in terms of the knockout. I think I'm going to go like 7 or 8, and he's
I
just going
just
to punish
want
him
I
for
just
7 or 8
want I just
rounds.
want him to embarrass him, man. I just want him to put
Yeah,
hands on him.
yeah. Well, we don't got to worry about that. We know he's going to put hands on him.
No, I don't know. I think it's going to be a better fight than most people think. I think people view Rolly as a clown. And Javante said he's the guy that come in the gym and he's in the gym like 10 days or two, something like that, and he think he's doing something, but he don't really know what it's like to be a real fighter. So it was good trash talk, but I think he's better than that. Obviously, this is a huge step up in competition, and he has never felt the power that he's going to feel when he fights Davis. So I'm excited to see. I've actually was a Rolly fan coming into this, and I probably will be after, just because of his bravado. And he's been talking, like the man talks a ton, but his knockout percentage is high too for a reason.
Yeah,
So
I
it should
give him
be
that. I
so
give him that, but that's about it. Y'all
yeah.
know I'm riding with the home
Puncher's
team.
chance. That's all he got is a puncher's chance.
But and we've seen Davis come out. He's been pretty sharp the last probably 3 fights that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
He's come out.
Well,
Real,
no,
real.
the last one, he looked a little heavy. You know what I mean? As far as his, he didn't he didn't look like the normal Javante and me. You know, even because some people were saying that that fight could have went either way. You know, some people saying Javante could have lost that fight, stuff like that. So I ain't gonna. I'm not saying he was like totally bad, but I don't think his last fight was up to like Javante standards in my opinion.
Mm. That's
I mean,
fair. I was probably like the it's probably the prior to this last fight where he was really sharp and then not as sharp as the last one.
so we will definitely see what comes of it. Should be a good fight. And I know we talked about it before. It has come to fruition. We are getting Canelo and Triple G3. The location and things have not been determined yet. I said before I wasn't super excited to see a third fight between them. I think there were better options for both of them, but I get the money side of it. People gonna pay to see it. Probably be Triple G's last hurrah. So I get it. I just would
And when
rather.
this fight again?
I think they said
September.
September 7th to
September.
17th, I believe.
Okay.
Um,
Because Carissa Shields is fighting also in September now.
is she? Who's she fighting?
I forgot.
I thought she had got hurt. No?
No, I seen something earlier that saying that she was supposed to fight in September. Yeah, she fight Savannah Marshall for the undisputed
Okay, yeah, I see it. Yep.
undisputed middleweight in
Yep, I see
September.
it.
And the Triple G Canelo fights the 17th of September. So,
Hey, boxing is giving us some shows. That's what I'm talking about.
yeah. So yeah, this weekend should be good. I will be curious to see if Floyd is giving Javante any pointers during the fight, as we've seen in the past. Javante trained in Miami. He didn't train in Vegas. Rolly trained in Vegas. So that will be interesting if at any point Floyd goes over to Romero's corner, because that's his fighter, and will potentially be his
they
catch.
both are, because this is his last fight under.
Yeah, so after this,
turned in, right?
Davis
Yeah,
is gone, so I'm not really gonna probably.
I mean, we assume that he's gone.
I mean, his by his indications, and I guess anything can change. He seems to want to have more control over his future.
Yeah.
Is at least what he said, and I could see that. I feel like he believes he's the best in the division. Put me up against the best. Let me fight the fights, and he's beat some good fighters. Am and was a Leo Santa Cruz fan, but he at that point in his career wasn't a top dog. So I think that's missing, and I would think Floyd would guide him through that if he won this fight. But we'll see. We will definitely see. Just quick update. And Kenny, I'll come to you. It's 21-point lead, a little under 7 left. So Golden State is seemingly in control. They did what they do in the third quarter, and Dallas is having a hard time scoring. But Kenny, you was gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did y'all see this news? Jake Paul is eyeing Big Baby Davis for his next fight. We gotta think about that.
You said who?
Oh man. Well, Big Baby can't. So I don't know if y'all knew this. He because of that fraud thing they did.
Yeah, he about to get locked up.
Yeah, because he can't leave the state.
Hold on, what happened? Hold on. Time out. Bro, time out. We talking about Big Baby Davis used to play for Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Clippers.
And he wants to box Jake Paul?
Yeah.
No, Jake Paul is eyeing. This is Jake Paul is eyeing.
He want to fight him.
Oh, wait. Let me just make sure that he's not.
Hold on. Y'all said Big Baby about to go to jail?
Yeah. He keep violating the terms of his bail.
What he do?
They like defrauded some fund in the NBA or something like that.
Fund.
And so,
I didn't know Big Baby was in it.
Yeah, he involved in it.
Damn. And you said he about to fight before he go to jail, or that's just
no? It's just a report that's saying that apparently the Athletic is saying that is looking for somebody that they're targeting Glenn Big Baby Davis for a fight on his next boxing card. Now, I'm not sure if that means he's fighting Jake Paul or he's just want to be a part of the card. I would think it's just going to be a part of the card because Jake Paul can't tell us he wants to be a serious boxer and then he's gonna fight this guy. That's not going to move you in the direction of being taken seriously as a boxer.
Can Big Baby fight?
I have no idea.
The person I seen on TV do not look like he's fighting anything.
Yeah,
that guy. He was. That's the same guy that got caught somebody else's seat in the playoffs.
Diabetes. He's gonna be fighting diabetes if he ain't careful. Like he about 350.
Well, he always had that weight problem coming out of college.
Yes, but now that he's not playing, he getting bigger.
Wow, boy, boxing just let anybody in, huh? Big Baby.
Yeah, I just saw that. I said, let me ask y'all what y'all think about it.
That is special.
If that it's okay. So on Twitter, he said, "I'm back August 13th." This article did not have a clear person selected as his opponent. What I will say is that if he did fight Glenn Big Baby Davis, I think Glenn would have a long night, and he doesn't.
I don't care. Like, you can't tell me then that don't talk to us about you being taken seriously as a boxer. Like, if you're gonna be just doing exhibitions and things like that, then that's fine. But then don't sit here and tell us that you want to be taken seriously as a boxer. Just say this is a hobby for you. No, for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we talking like I'm just keeping that on it. Like, you talking like you want to be taken seriously as a boxer, but you out here, out here fighting Thunder Lips. Come on, man.
Oh man.
As I can tell, I'm not big on Jake Paul.
Oh, man.
You say he fighting who?
Thunder Lips. You don't remember Rocky when he fought Hulk Hogan?
That's what I'm talking about. That's why it makes it sound so funny.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Come on, man. It's the same thing.
Actually, so I want to get you guys' opinion, and I wish I had the gentleman's information. So it was a UFC fighter, and he was scheduled to fight, and I don't remember who he was scheduled to fight. I'm sorry, I don't have this readily available. He was going to fight somebody. At the fight night, Dan Bilzerian, who's like this internet guy, and Cowboy, what's his name? UFC guy. Anyway, it was a UFC fighter, and I'll try and find the article. But they came and made his mom and his wife move from their seats before his fight. And he found out after the fight. My question to you guys is, if you found out that a fighter and somebody else moved your mom and wife out of their seats at your fight, what would you do?
Oh, we fight.
Yeah, we got a problem.
We got a problem.
Yeah,
that person needs to get in the, that person need to get in the ring with me. I mean, or in the octagon with me, because we got a problem now.
What was his?
Yeah, we got.
Do you know what his reasoning was for having them move?
So from what I understand, that was not made clear. He chalked it up to Cowboy Cerrone just being drunk.
It doesn't matter, because if he was a drunk civilian, you still would want to whoop his ass. So, yeah,
that's wild, disrespectful there.
Yeah, that's almost as disrespectful that whole Chris Paul situation. You know what I mean? Like, when we bring our families to our events and stuff like that, we bring them for our support. When we bring them, so we feel like they are safe, pretty much. Because by us playing even at the gym arenas or football fields, us playing it, we feel like I can bring my family there, it's safe. But now you having these people that don't know how to handle their liquor or handle whatever it is they need to handle. They just get away with stuff like that, and then people get mad of the reaction. It wouldn't have been a reaction if you would have never made me have this reaction. And people got to understand, like, families are off limit. Like, people are dying quick off families. Whether you looking at somebody's wife wrong, or you said something to their mother wrong, or something in that nature. People ain't hesitating about their families no more. Well, people never hesitating about their families at all. And the way this world is going, shit, nobody's going to be around. If people keep on disrespecting families.
That's well said. I hear you, Kenny. Did you?
Unless he in having a staring contest. Because if he is, though, he is winning. I done blinked 10 times already.
Oh man, yeah. I just happened to look like, oh yeah, he moving. Oh man, wow. I didn't know that part, John. That's extra. Like, it's not ideal.
He said he was watching. Man, what the boy? Yo, I swear, people don't do stuff in secret no more, do they? I thought you supposed to watch porn on your own time, man. You ain't supposed to be at events watching porn. Yo, you finally unfroze yourself.
Yeah, I had to go out and come back in, and this is what I come into. This is what we doing. Like, all I was gonna say is, man, is we gotta start. We gotta really get back to creating some boundaries, man, because it's just people are just way too comfortable, crossing the line. Like, I don't even know how to explain. I don't even know what the solution is. Like, do you gotta just does somebody just gotta get clocked one time
you know what's going to
you know
have
what
to
I'm saying?
happen,
Like, do
Kenny?
we got to go back to the Malice in the Palace situation?
That's what I would just get ready to say. That's what
Like-
I would just get ready to say.
Like, it shouldn't. Like, what are we doing here? I don't understand. Like, people, we got to really get back to the place where we respect people's boundaries and respect people's spaces. There should be some sacred, areas and lines that you don't cross, man. So, I'm not sure. So it's just crazy, man. It's crazy times we living in. That's all I could say.
What's going to happen is somebody gonna go viral by getting their ass whooped. That's what's going to happen.
Like the y'all saw the airline worker that got knocked out.
Oh
yeah, he got it good.
He deserved that ass whooping.
Yes, indeed. You can't do that. You can't go around
saying, crossing lines, man. It's people getting way too comfortable.
Way too comfortable.
Just quick update: Dallas has cut it back down to 11. John, just for an update, Luka now has 20 points, I believe, which is what we said he would do. But that's fine.
But he need about 35 to 40.
So
maybe
14-0 Dallas run.
14-0. That's a big run.
It's a big run. We'll see what Golden State can do. I had a feeling it might be close. We'll see if Dallas has enough energy to close it out. A turnover by Jordan Poole. So looking tough for him. But before we go ahead and get out of here, fellas, did y'all have anything else for the people?
No, man. Just everybody just be mindful, be careful, be safe out here. And let's just try to find some understanding and some love, some care, some compassion for each other, man. These situations that's going on in this country and in the world, man. We just need some more love, compassion, and understanding. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Kenny, man. Just show some love, man. And I want to send my condolences out to those family, to the school shooting that happened down in Texas, man. No person or nobody should have to go through that. So I send my condolences out to y'all, man. I wish y'all nothing but I wish y'all nothing but the best of luck, man. I really don't know what to say on that. I couldn't imagine going through what they are going through right now. So my condolences.
No, I definitely echo that. We've seen it in so many different forms, whether it's Mike Tyson on the plane, whether it's the stuff going on with the schools, like the stuff going on in supermarkets, like this country. It's just it is a great country and it can be such a great country, but there's still so many problems, and there's so much money and power involved that sometimes it clouds people's judgment to do the right thing. So definitely prayers and support to all the families involved. I can't imagine. I got 4 of my own, all of which will probably go to public school. So you just never know. And the more we kind of hear of stories coming out, it just makes it even tougher. But hopefully you guys can enjoy this final quarter. It's a 10-point game. We will definitely have some stuff to talk about come Monday should Dallas win this game. Miami should be on vacation by then. And
Rolly should be on cloud 9. Devontae knock him out.
yeah. So it should be good, and we would definitely touch on it, as well as, of course, we had to give our fight recap. So, fellas, y'all have a great weekend. Hopefully, y'all enjoy yourselves, eat good, put your feet up, crack a brew or something. Enjoy. Hopefully, y'all got some nice weather. I think the weather's supposed to be decent here in this area. We're supposed to be cooking out or something like that. So, y'all have a good weekend.
Down here too. You too, Doug.
You said down here. Where you at?
I'm in Maryland too.
Yeah, you above me. You said down here. You know.
Hey, look, Maryland's still the Southern state, man. They still consider us the Southern state.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, I got that country twang too.
Yeah. But with that being said, y'all have a blessed one. Stay up, stay focused, stay healthy, and stay positive. Take care.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays.